Hello everyone, my name is Paul Ross and I'm Director of APC Microbiome Ireland, which is an SFI funded research centre located in Southern Ireland in Cork. We were formed about 18 years ago at College Cork, and we're about 300 people, which makes us one of the oldest and the largest microbiome centres in the world. What we study is the bacteria that are in the human body, mainly in the intestine. We have about 100 trillion bacteria in our intestine that make up our microbiome. The number of genes in that consortium outnumber human cells in the body 150 to 1. It's been estimated there's about 10,000 different species that have been now identified in the human microbiome. And so it's almost like a bioreactor within each one of us. And I suppose what makes it so exciting is it's malleable. We can manipulate it. Unlike the human microbiome, it's medically and genetically accessible. We became interested in being part of an EU consortium when we saw H2020 call about a year ago now. And this was to coordinate and support research on human microbiome in Europe and beyond. We got interested in coordinating this because this is, if you like, our business, working on human microbiome. And what we did was we started to contact partners, but then we became aware that Professor Joe Eldora, a friend of hers and a research colleague at INRA in France, was also coordinating the call. And so what we did is we merged both, was coordinating a submission. And so what we did was we basically merged the two initiatives and formed the International Human Microbiome Coordination and Support Action Group. And basically, we submitted a project to the EU, which is now being funded. We're delighted with it. Because what it's going to do is going to, for the first time from a European perspective, map the current scientific state of play in the microbiome. It's going to identify a path for research to create real impacts. And it's going to build a consensus on EU microbiome for science and translation. And indeed, one of the main outputs of the project is going to be a white paper that we're going to write up, which basically gives a state of play and a way forward in this whole area. One thing I really like about this project is I feel it's going to be a genesis and build a foundation for future calls in the human microbiome across Europe. One of the main things that we want to achieve in this is basically to improve people's health by manipulating the microbiome. To do that, you need to know what healthy is. And that's why I'm so excited by our role in the project, is basically to look at all the research that's out there and try to understand what makes up a healthy microbiome. As I said, we all have a huge amount of bacteria within us, 150 times the genetic component of the human microbiome. But what makes it unusual is we're very, very different to each other. And there is a huge inter-individual variation in the microbiome. It's actually almost like your fingerprint. And that's what makes it difficult then. If we're also different to each other, why are we different? Well, there are a whole range of different reasons. What we eat, our diet, the medication that we're on, medicine, our lifestyle with regard to health and exercise, they all have a huge influence on our microbiome. And so by looking in detail into the composition and metabolic functioning of the microbiome, we hope that we can find what makes a healthy microbiome, and then be able to build on that and come up with new medicines or whatever to improve the composition of the microbiome to improve human health. And that's the basis of the project. Thank you.